Hi, I'm Richard Farleigh. I'm sitting here with Andrew Maxwell, a famous global comedian who I know very well and is very, very funny. We're going to watch an episode of Dragon's Den. I've been on Dragon's Den, so it should be fun. Have you ever seen the show?
I have seen the show. Not as much as you've seen it. But I'm definitely looking forward to crushing some dreams.
Yes.
My name is Danny, and I'm the founder of My Skin Feels. I'm here today to ask the Dragons for £50,000 in return for 10% of my business. My Skin Feels is skincare made from rescued food, including the byproducts of tomato ketchup, olive oil, breakfast oats, and orange juice, which I know sounds like a very weird salad you'd never eat, but I promise it's amazing for your skin. I take the bits not used in the Italian food manufacturing industry. So the skin of the tomato, the stalk of the oat, all the crushed olives. Then I ferment and extract the amino acids, the antioxidants, all the skin-loving goodness. That's what goes in my products.
What do you think?
It was a good pitch.
Yeah, it's a very professional pitch. It's funny. I've been involved in pharmaceutical businesses,
Right.
Proper pharmaceutical, and to get something to market obviously takes 10 years, costs a hell of a lot of money.
By pharma, are we talking
We're
about
talking
like,
drugs, pharmaceutical
like
products.
GlaxoSmithKline?
Yes,
that
yeah,
sort
proper
of...
stuff with small biotech companies in the UK.
Right.
And to get a drug to market, obviously very expensive, extremely risky. Almost all of them fail. That's why it's so expensive, because the failure rate is horrific. But in the cosmetic industry like this,
Yeah.
to whack something on your skin, like, they'll quote statistics. It's a complete cowboy. I'm not saying this, but
Right.
it's a complete cowboy industry. And you can ask 7 people if they like it, and if 4 do, you can say the majority of people.
Yeah.
Tested this, the claims.
Yeah.
But I think the measure is if the product enters your skin or it comes out, like if it passes through your system, then it may need to be tested. It may need to be approved by.
It doesn't stay on
Yeah,
your skin.
yes.
It seeps in.
Yeah, and I think because the assumption is because it's food, it's okay. But I guess that's true.
Is this the only thing you do, or how do you live?
So no, I actually have another job on Friday.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
I'm a professional psychic medium, which is
You're a
quite...
professional?
Yeah, psychic medium.
What?
Right?
Yeah, which is quite out there.
Okay, that's-
I was
that's-
born with it. It runs in my
This is where you
family.
think
I
this is
trained
a
for
good
7
business
years.
presentation.
And I get my
Turns out
salary
to be,
from my
what
work
can
as a
we
psychic
say on
medium.
camera? Well, I mean, this might put concerns into my mind. I mean, I know there's a thing about being spiritual and don't be too numbers oriented and all this kind of stuff. But this might be bordering a little bit too much on the spiritual side.
I think there is a spectrum, isn't there? I think hard-nosed business person here, airy-fairy nonsense down this end of the thing, right?
And what they can't meet those two ends.
Well, they're a little
She's trying to join those dots.
They're a little bit. I mean, it's like being a hooer and a nun. I mean, you're both wearing the same costume, but you're charging different rates. Right?
Well, I'd just like to make sure her forecast.
Like Bartlett is, obviously Bartlett's giving the old side glance over here.
Yeah, I just want to make sure her forecasts are based on reality, not on.
On
Born with it.
Yeah.
I am going to make you an offer because the important things for me are people and passion about the product. You obviously know your industry very well and you've built a career around this industry. So I'm not going to miss out on this opportunity. So you've asked for £50,000 for 10% of your business, but I want 20%.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Just a technical point, which might be worth me making, is you would have naturally, so 50,000 for 20% of the business, so 50,000 times 5 is valuing the business at quarter of a million. It's not actually, it's because there's a difference, presuming that money goes into the company.
the 50 grand.
The 50 will go into the company.
Yes.
So at the end of it, the company will be worth 250. So what that means is what she's got is worth 200.
Yes.
So if she was selling shares and taking the money home, then that would value the company at 250. Because
Right.
the 50,000's got nothing to do with the business. They're just buying shares. Like if you have a business and I give you some money for some shares,
Yeah.
for a fifth of the shares, that business is worth 250,000.
Right.
But if I put money in, then
Yeah.
clearly the company's worth at least that 50,000. And what's the remaining bit that it's a little technical thing. So that's valued the business at 200,000. And so you'd be sitting there going, is that worth 200,000? And sometimes I used to think, I don't think she would, but sometimes when people come on, they value their businesses at $1 million or even more. You just think, if I offered you $1 million cold hard cash, I bet you'd take it.
Yeah.
Because you don't really believe your business is I think
So
she believes
how
her.
do you, then how do you as a dragon when somebody comes and goes, look, I think the business is worth $1 million. What's that based on? It's just their own.
Well, I used to joke because they say my accountant gave me a valuation. You know, I had a stock answer, and I have a stock answer. How much is he putting in? Right? How many shares is she buying? You know, it's easy to get valuations, but I always call it like measuring the immeasurable. How do you don't know? It's like how much is the lottery?
Right. So it's just sort of their way of expressing their confidence in their business. Is that right?
Well, yes. Well, I would want to know first off. You know, so because it's filmed and edited, who knows? But I would want to know, they haven't asked her how much it costs to produce. I don't know if they've asked her how much money she's making. So she's selling 20,000, 50,000, 70,000. How much does it cost? Like that packaging.
What's the profit?
What's the sunk cost? Like there's look like expensive packaging she's had there. But also, you know, how much margin are you making?
Yeah.
You know, are you making any money out of that, or are you selling it below cost? And also, there's another thing which is often missed when they're talking about how much money they're making is she paying herself a salary? So sometimes they'll say this business is making 50 grand or 30 grand, but they're not paying themselves a salary.
Right.
And it's a huge point because if there might be 2 people working there, it's making a loss because they're not. So you have to know if the salaries are being taken out, whether their home if there's implicit rent, or you know whether they're paying the internet, all the costs are being absorbed somewhere else.
Gotcha.
To get so it's pretty, but you know you're just having half a guess with a new company.
Right.
I'm going to offer you £50,000, but I want 20% of the business.
Thank you very much.
For our first joint venture, Deborah.
Not sure.
I'm going to offer you all of the money, 50,000, for 20% as well.
Thank you very much. I would love to work with you too. 100%. The energy is just amazing. Would you be open to going? Yours is too. Totally. They're just, yes.
Ours is better.
Your energy is better.
Cut Peter out.
It's just.
But it's bragging about me 300 million a year on cosmetics.
I'd be asking Peter the question, saying, "Are those numbers real?" Yes. Can I?
Can you break that down for me, Peter?
He just said he's selling what
yes.
every couple of hours, 70,000 every couple of hours. And she doesn't want to go with Peter. She wants to go with the football player. Sorry, Gary, but she wants to go. You know.
Yeah, a defensive football player as well. What's Deborah Meaden's original business? Where's she from?
Yeah, it's all a bit blurry. She had caravan parks and stuff.
Right.
Family businesses, to my knowledge. Right. But she's been doing this for 20 years, so God knows.
She's probably literally a little bit of everything.
Yes.
It does seem slightly odd to me that one of the 5 dragons is actually in the sector she's in.
Selling a huge amount. I mean, if those numbers are right, unless I've made some multiply by 10 error, I think it's about 300 million a year he's selling. So
what did he say? He was 90 grand every
he's doing
couple
about
of
70
hours.
or 80 every couple of hours. So that's
Every
about
couple of
40,000.
hours?
That's a 40,000 every hour. Multiply by 24, that's about $1 million a day. That's about 365. Correct me if I'm wrong. But either way, even if it's a tenth of that, right?
Yeah.
That's
This is all for women who are already attractive, wanting to.
Here's a mistake she's making. Go with the industry player, and you know, if it's the same deal, go with the industry player.
Sure.
So,
I mean, you know, Gary wants to do it because he's teenage daughters that use makeup. That seems not.
And Deborah doesn't like the industry. She says it needs change. So I don't know. Oh,
that's a strange choice.
She's going to accept.
Okay.
She should.
Deal.
Excellent. Wow. Excellent. I am so pleased.
Poor old Peter, shafted.
It's really strange.
Danny has done it.
She did a great presentation.
How key is that?
Pretty important. I think the presentations have got much better than when I was on it. We really saw some raw stuff. Yeah. and
well,
the show,
you know, life imitates art, right? Presumably, as if you're aspirational to start a business, then this is the sort of TV you're going to be watching. So you're going to see people pitch. It's going to become just naturally more sophisticated, right?
Maybe, but people still have, it's a bit like watching you do comedy. Like you can watch
you're nervous watching me do comedy.
But they go out there as nervous as hell, and it's a big day on their business life. So there's a lot at stake.
Also, you forget. Obviously, we're here in the studio. There's lights. Like you get used to lights performing under lights, but most people have never spoken with lights in their face.
And when you walk on that set, when I was on that, had to come upstairs, and you come up, and it wouldn't just be the 5 dragons. You'd see all the production. You'd see another 20 people in the room with cameras, lights, people, occasionally some friends and family sort of thing watching. And you'd come up slowly, and you'd be told to stand on that black spot. And you've never met the dragons before. You kept separate, so it's not like you've been making friends in the green room.
Yeah, sure.
You walk on the set, and then boom. So people be nervous as hell. But also, they've gotten so much nicer. Like, they're all like me. Like, I was called Mr. Nice when I was on the show because I was like, oh, that's a good presentation. Oh, yeah, okay, well, good luck. I didn't see any room. I didn't see any need to be nasty.
Yeah.
Whereas they were all modelling themselves on Simon Cowell. So they were
Yes,
like,
of course.
remember Theo? Like, I'd rather stick needles in my pin in my eyes than take that. And Duncan would be like, how dare you get on this set? You don't understand the numbers. The abuse would be. Sometimes I'd be shocked by the abuse. Now it's like, oh, that's a lovely presentation. That's good.
It's changed the culture, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's a total change of culture.
But do you think? And they always said to me that the show needed jeopardy. It couldn't be a charity show. It always needed to have some risk that you were going to be humiliated, that the contestant was going to be made a fool of, and that needed that to give it some tension. But so they need it. But now it doesn't feel like anyone's going to be that nasty.
Also, it just didn't. That was a cultural decision that was made by an executive. There's surely it's enough that these people they've got their big dream, and they're pitching their big dream to, and if it comes off, there's isn't one of the big sort of breakout guys from this TV show over the years?
Reggae sauce, come on with me.
that guy, yeah.
But it's also changed because you can be pretty confident now with that when you go on it. That's a big selling point. So as seen on Dragon's Den, even if they lose, they can have as seen on Dragon's Den.
But yes, I can totally see that. Just getting on this.
Yes.
It's great for you.
Well, Reggae Sauce, which I backed with Peter, would not have worked if it wasn't for Dragon's Den. If it'd just been a room like this, no one saw it, it'd be sorry, Levi, but we know people are going to love you,
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Again, he had the product, but he also had the personality. He had the whole thing worked,
Yeah, you knew it was all about him. He's the product. He still is.
Yeah.
My name is Ben Reeves. I'm here today with my lovely wife, Natalia. We are co-founders of Swish, the portable golf ball cleaner.
Dragons, imagine this. You step up to make a crucial putt, but your golf ball is covered in dirt. A dirty golf ball can mean less accuracy, less control, and potentially a lost game. Golfers know the struggle, but we found that existing cleaning methods are inconvenient and ineffective. That's why we created Swish. On the course, many golfers resort to wet towel on their back, a spit, which is not ideal, or static golf ball washer, like this one here on the next hole. In our experience, these are dry and smelly due to lack of maintenance. Swish is a compact, lightweight, and easy-to-use device that cleans your balls in seconds. Just pop it open.
No jokes.
No jokes here.
Pop your dirty ball in. Give it a few swishes. Dry it. And it comes out spotless, ready for the perfect shot.
So it's a weed grinder.
There are over 66 million golfers worldwide.
The repurposed weed grinder for cleaning balls.
Can't just use a
investment
chamois or
for 10%
something?
equity. Thank you for listening, and we welcome any questions that you have.
I'm not a golfer.
A portable device
Good
for
walk
cleaning
spoiled.
golf balls
So it's just
is
wet
the offering
sponge.
from Ben and Natalia.
I've seen some interesting golf. I've played golf. I played up in the north of Australia with two of my brothers. And as we were going out, the guy said, "Oh, watch out, mate." And it was right north of Australia, Queensland. And he said, "Watch out, mate. There's
Salties.
Yes, yeah. Watch out for one of the crocs has been out there." And we're like, we go out. We can't play golf. We've got like 20 balls. We know they're going to go everywhere. We go out, and we're like, he's just making fun of us, right? Because there's water holes all over the place. And we're like, he's just making fun of us. And of course, there's no croc. And we're like, maybe there, but we've had this pact that if someone hit the ball in the water and we need to get the water, we'd form a human chain with the golf. And if there was a croc game, you'd have to yank them out of the. And one of my brothers would have this technique where we were all hopeless, but he had a technique. He had a technique which he'd swing the ball, right? He'd stand right away from the golf ball. So he'd swing his club right away from the golf ball and then once he got it right, like an elephant swinging, he'd walk towards it.
Wow. That's even crapper than me. And I'm
Do you
rubbish
play?
at- No, Christ no. Although my very first ever job, my first when I was 16, was being a divot filler in Royal Park Marnock Golf
Is
Club.
that actually on your CV, divot filler?
I don't even have a Christian.
Sounds like an insult, you divot filler.
You back on divot filler. But yeah, I used
It's
to.
a bit like a gardener, so go around and...
You go around, the divots when somebody
Yeah.
would swish and there'd be a clump of grass.
Yeah.
I'd have to go fix it.
Peter hit the nail on the head in terms of it's quite a niche product and it's the scale of the opportunity. He said there's, I think, 66 million
Yes,
golfers
worldwide, yeah.
globally.
66 million golfers, and everyone has to clean their golf balls.
Do you think a footballer could endorse a golf product?
Well, I don't know whether it was like with Australian sport, but famously soccer players, football players in the UK and Ireland, I mean, they spend most of their life actually on a golf course.
Okay.
They're all obsessed with golf.
Right.
That's pretty much what when they're not training, playing
Like
football.
the cricket players.
Yeah, the young.
Yeah.
I guess the young guys that play a lot of computer games, but traditionally footballers.
So his name on it might make a difference.
Massively, and
At least
there's
in
also
the UK, maybe not in the States.
yeah, there's also a big culture as well of sort of pro-am golf tournaments, and you'll often get retired footballers and getting involved in that.
Being a golfer, I do think there's an element of multi-use here, and I think it's really worth exploring. I also think you need to get it out there, and that's the other thing. And I think that's what Gary as well could be very impactful, because people do trust, very well known but incredibly well respected sports athletes, and he's one of the best, right? So that combination as well, there could be something here. So I would like to throw a bit of a curveball and suggest that perhaps we go in together, 3 dragons, but we give you a bit more money.
Okay.
So you asked for £80,000 for 10%. I would offer you £30,000
Bit more
for
money.
the 10%.
Okay.
So ultimately, if that would mean an offer from everybody of 90,000, and you'd give away 30% of the company, but you'd have 3 dragons if Gary and Tuka would be interested.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time today, Dragons. We are delighted to say we would love to take your offer.
When I was on, they did like 1 investment per show. Most of them failed.
Right.
Here it seems to be everyone succeeds.
Well, we shall see. We've got 2 more to go, haven't
Yeah.
we? Well, I think they were reasonably not pie in the sky products.
Yeah, and that valuation made a bit more sense.
Is this common to have couples?
It seems to have had 2, so I don't remember.
I mean, would
many.
that? I mean, what I mean was, would that, if a couple came in, would that give it more credence to you?
That's a good question. What are the positives and minuses? I mean, they have no other income coming in the household that can put stress on them.
True.
Do they?
Is what I mean is it 2 people? Does that add? Go, all right. Well, these are going to take it more seriously, or is a couple more likely to fall into self-delusion because they have the other one to agree with them? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I guess
a
it
tough
depends
one.
on the dynamic of the
Yes.
couple, right?
Yeah. Good question though. I never
Nice.
thought of that.
Thanks.
I'm Janesh. I'm the CEO of Sprive.
Now, Janesh, I
I've
know.
watched Dragon's Den
know
since I
him.
was in my 20s.
Janesh came on the boardroom soon after this.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I do know a bit about him.
All right. Okay. Well, that's a bit inside
See
trade.
what you think. Yes.
Imagine being able to put just an extra £25 a month towards your mortgage just by doing your everyday shopping. Your morning coffee, the weekly shop, booking a holiday, even that cheeky takeaway. It might not sound like much, but over time it adds up, and it can save you thousands of pounds in interest and knock years off your mortgage.
An app that lets users overpay their mortgages is the offering from Janesh Vora.
Imagine I've done a £100 shop at my local supermarket. I hit swipe to pay. I then scan the barcode at checkout. That pays for the shop.
Janesh is seeking £50,000 in exchange for 2% of his company.
We take commission, and then within 15 minutes, you earn money towards your mortgage, which you can pay to your lender with just 1 tap.
I have to say, Richard, I'm still slightly lost of this business. Can you explain a little bit more? I don't
Yes.
understand. I mean,
So
and I
he
think
has-
it's telling that Evan had to come over on a voiceover to explain it again.
Yeah,
which
sort of
didn't
it's
happen.
jumped from sort of cleaning your golf ball to sort of financial, sophisticated financial.
I understand overpaying a mortgage, and
Yeah.
a couple of times I've with show business, it's
up and down.
It's a feast and a famine, and any couple of times that it's been a feast, I've overpaid my mortgages. I understand that. I don't understand what the fuck.
So it's
what's
he has deals with retailers like Amazon and the others he mentioned,
for
M&S.
discounts.
So it's almost like a points back system or something, like a discount system.
Right.
So maybe it's 1/10 of 1%
Like,
or something.
well, equivalent is I've got an Amex card that gives Avios points. Is it like that?
Yes,
Right.
that's it. But the deal's not. I don't think it's not through the card. It's with the retailers.
Right.
So if I'm shopping at M&S, then M&S will give me a discount when I'm.
But why are these big retailers giving him discounts?
No, sorry, the M&S, not the discount. That they are giving some of that money. There must be a discount. It's a good question, but some of that money, if you go to M&S or Amazon and you pay £1, 1 penny or half a penny or something of that, M&S might drop the price, and that will go instead into your account and pay off your bank.
Yeah.
So it's from what I understand as well, you don't lose any if you're getting points on your card. You still get those. It doesn't take away anything else. So it's 0.5% or some percentage is paying off your mortgage.
I'm just interested. I mean, that seems to be the bit that. How has he persuaded all these huge retailers?
Well, that's impressive. To
give him
that's
discounts.
impressive. It's impressive.
And why isn't that the forward? Because that's right, as you said. Surely that's the impressive part of the pitch. I'm like, how have you persuaded these people, these major retailers, to give you some sort of special bonus?
Yeah, I mean, is it really going to change my behaviour that I buy a bit more from Amazon instead of somewhere else? I don't know, but obviously they think it will.
Right.
But having met him, he's very impressive. So, and he's managed to do that. So, and also from having met him, it's almost sounds like, from what I understand, it's almost a bit of a no-brainer. You should use it if you've got a mortgage. You should almost use it, because I didn't see any reason why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But
well, maybe I will check it out.
Yeah, and he's burning through about $500,000 a year to get customers. So maybe he'll get there. I thought it was impressive.
So we initially raised £230,000 when he had nothing. We built the first version of the app using that cash. We then raised 1.45 million, and now we're in a position where we just last month raised £2.5 million in cash.
So what's that? It's
and
only
we're
$4
using
million
that to grow the business.
Jinesh, who has invested £4 million? Because it's really impressive to have raised that.
So
scale of
the
money.
latest investment, which is the $2.5 million, was led by one of the top fintech investors in the UK.
But it's not just the money, when it's who put the money in, because they would have kicked it. You're sitting there on Dragon's Den. You've got 20 minutes, half an hour, including the total time not shown on air. And you can't do any research. You can't Google. Sure. You can't ask ChatGPT. You can't phone a friend. But to have had a financial institution kick that business and go right through it and give him a big chunk of money, that would mean that's almost the most important thing he's said. Sure. And if I'm getting it at the same price, if I'm getting it 10 times the valuation, I'm a bit more nervous. But if I'm getting it more or less the same price, but potentially even a discount to them, and he seems to be making good progress.
I guess, and it's come from the fintech sector rather than say a commercial bank.
Oh yeah. It's not a mate who wealthy mate who's put in $2.5 million. It's someone who would have gone through it with a lot of detail. And I've gone and had companies where they do that to you, and you are basically naked in the room by the time they're finished.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a big thing, but they don't seem to talk about it that much.
I'll tell you what, I would accept 2% for half the money.
Yeah.
If you want 3 dragons, we'll split 5%. Because the power of 3 dragons and the 3 dragons you've got, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah?
Yeah, 50,000. If everyone's happy with that.
I would be genuinely happy with that. That's 5%, and you got 3 dragons.
That would be
£50,000.
amazing, is that?
Right.
Is this really happening?
Aren't you glad I intervened?
Well done, Deborah.
Thank you so much.
She can be matronly, can't she? Sometimes, Deborah?
I have to say, I was kind of trying to do the numbers. What's 5% split by 3?
Well, 17, isn't it? 16,666 or something? But it was always a good idea to split the investments, because when they say they're getting 3 dragons, in practice, it's going to be 1, if that. Yeah. Because I split Reggae Sauce with Peter, right. And he ran that one. Right. I also split with Peter an egg cooker, which didn't work, but I ran that one. Right. So not because I was running. It's just the way it works out. That's my reasoning. But it's obviously less work, and you get to invest, but you don't have to do the work. So gotcha. It's actually not as good as it might sound, but it makes their life a lot easier.
I was surprised they didn't do them for 3 of us in for 6%.
Yeah, I thought they should have.
They should have done. Then it would have been even. Well, they're left with some seriously complex numbers.
Yeah, but I think they've done a good deal, because they've come in at a discount to the existing investors who are big financial investors.
Yeah, those fintech dudes must be sat watching. Going, hey, what?
Well, it's really giving 5% of your company away, maybe for publicity, 4% probably.
Yeah,
who knows?
True.
I bet the dragons don't know more about finance than he does.
Next in the den are Tina and Ollie, who found love, then founded their business.
It's another couple.
We got married in September 2023, and then about 4 or 5 months after we got married, we launched our business, and we haven't looked back in sort of a year and a half.
All right.
What is that ball?
That looks like a falafel, no?
Golf ball? Are they dirty golf balls?
Oh, it does smell nice.
Come on in, I'm hungry.
They look like the sort of fat balls you feed birds in the winter with.
Well, I came up with an idea.
Which, by the way, are the best thing if you want to catch a mice or a rat.
On TV,
fat balls.
Or encourage them.
No, but you got to trap it.
Yeah, that's kind of how Flavour Bombs started.
Flavour Bombs.
Love you.
Here we go. We've had 3 winners so far.
I don't understand the show. It's just a giveaway, isn't it?
Each flavour bomb contains all the ingredients needed to help you make an incredible curry, a Vietnamese broth, a sauce, or a Mexican birria consomme, filled with high-quality herbs, spices, garlic, onion, tomato, and more, all perfectly portioned and blended into a delicious globe.
Sounds good.
That sounds all right.
As demonstrated,
I was expecting more stuff to mock.
Is drop one of our flavour bombs into a pan with water.
Oh, yeah.
Add your protein or veggies of choice, stir, and enjoy.
So in the short term, your maximum that you can produce, you would turn over about
200,000.
So what would be your gross profit?
It's about 53%.
So you're talking about 105 grand.
Yeah.
And how much would you spend on marketing on that?
We're looking for about at least 4 or 5 grand.
A month.
A month.
Yeah.
So that's about 60 grand a year.
Yeah.
So you've gone from 100 down to 40.
Yeah.
Right. And what about your overheads? If you go flat out, you will probably lose 150 grand.
Hard to scale
I think
it.
you're great. Don't get me wrong, but you've come in here unprepared in what it costs to launch a product like this in the open world. 50 grand won't go far.
Unprepared, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Well, sold 100,000 worth from their bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, they know their numbers.
With no health and safety.
Yes. Don't know. I thought it was a good presentation.
Where does one go about getting such accreditations?
We don't know. We'd like to know more about that.
Like, is that like a local council or?
Well, no, I presume that's a government authority, isn't it?
Yeah, but who? Like who in the government does that?
I don't know. Do they come out and inspect your kitchen? Do they?
But is it the department?
You're asking me like I'm a kitchen guy.
You've sold pretty much everything.
Yeah, I know. You would never got one of those. Well,
you got a truckload of sapphires.
What we did with Reggae Sauce was we teamed up with a big, we basically licensed it out. To be produced by people who've done volumes and everything is covered. Absolutely, we outsourced the sauce. Everything is completely done. Whereas, which is maybe what they should do. So I would be expecting Peter, having done what we did with Levi Roots and Reggae Sauce, I would be expecting him to go and do the same deal exactly. And if they were like Levi, and it's very hard to match Levi in terms of the guitar and the hair.
Yeah.
You might be able to just if they're strong enough,
do not
let them make it. You do the recipes, let them make it. In Levi's case, it was his grandmother's sauce going back. There was a story
to tell.
If they could do the same thing, they wouldn't even have to worry about making it. So I'm wondering if Peter is thinking that right now.
Yeah. I mean,
but I think it's a bit harsh to say, you've got to this point, you weren't not prepared. They've come to them because we've got to this point, we want to go to the next level.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? I would do 25% on the condition that my share is not getting diluted if you guys go off and raise some money.
Oh. Oh, how long's that last? Imagine you had 20 when you first started Microsoft. I'll have 25%. That can never be diluted. It means when they raise money, my shareholding always stays the same. And that, it depends how much money. If they need to raise millions, they will be. Those two founders will be diluted down to like 5% each, and Peter will be sitting with
25.
It's not just for the next round.
Yeah,
he's
forever.
saying forever.
Yeah,
I mean, I think they should put a limit of a year or 2 years or a certain amount of money.
Look at him.
We can make that's reasonable. Yeah.
I don't know if they've thought that through.
Yeah,
If they thought that through, I would have taken the other two in that case.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Wow, read the small print.
Victory for Tina and Ollie.
Victory for now.
Another investment. It's 4 investments.
Yeah.
From a
Everybody
spark
won.
of inspiration
This is a giveaway
to a
show,
Dragon's
isn't it?
Den sensation. The culinary
Fat
couple
balls,
cooked up
balls
a
got
winter
eaten,
in
balls
Italy.
got washed.
What ideas can we come up with?
So what did we have? We had skincare, golf balls, the mortgage app, and the spicy balls.
Well done.
Yeah,
Spicy balls.
spicy balls.
Dirty balls, spicy balls.
Well, maybe it was just us watching it, but everybody looked out there. Nobody got rejected.
Yeah, it's a 4 out of 4, wasn't it?
4 out of 4.
And multiple dragons wanting in each time.
Yeah.
And not a lot of competition between the dragons. A little bit, well, maybe a little bit. Peter missed out in one of them, and then he got in when the last one.
Yeah.
But I thought the analysis was pretty good. But
which one of those? Okay, so let me ask you a question in summation as we wrap up here. Which of these would you have got? You can only pick one, right? Both of us picked one. Skincare from Rescue Food. Thingamajig that washes your golf balls, an app that helps you overpay your mortgage through getting tiny micro discounts from major retailers, and spicy seasoning balls.
Right. It wouldn't be the skincare one. It wouldn't be the ball one, the golf ball one, because I just got no idea whether that's a real problem out there. I mean, it would be, it'd probably be the most boring sounding one, but the financial one, because that has a massive market. Maybe potential. They all do. Massive potential. And the fact that you're coming in at a lower valuation than some serious investors, and he knows I really would trust believe in what he does. And it's been these serious investors have kicked the tires. They've really looked at it, and he's already got 20,000 users, and it's already out there working. So I'd probably, because the bedroom, that could be the next Reggae Sauce, that last one.
Sure.
But there's no guarantee. So I think I would go for the financial one. And yourself?
And sadly, I would agree.
Oh. So we'd make an offer.
I think the skincare one is niche. I think the spicy seasoning balls is niche. I think washing your golf balls.
Well, you work in a golf course. Is that a big problem?
I don't know.
My balls just got dirty. I'll just get another one. They just went out of the bag.
Chi-chi, another one from the bag, if you would.
Get a green one out, a yellow one.
But also, I think it's a nice little novelty product. But it's sort of.
Yes, it's one of those things. It might be like the Rubik's Cube that could be everywhere, or maybe.
Yeah, but you're only buying it once.
So how long before they make? They need a comedian on, don't they? I've got. Your business analysis is right up there. I think. No, I'm serious. So. I should propose you to the BBC.
I would love. Yeah, I would absolutely love to be a dragon.
I think everyone watching this should write in and get you on there, and you'd be.
I have 20 quid spare. So
I mean, in the early days, they wouldn't have wanted a comedian in there because the show was supposed to be very, very serious. But now it's almost like a giveaway show. At least you'd liven up some of the.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's what I think. Yeah,
Do you think it's good TV?
I think it's absolutely good TV, and to be honest, I would respond better as a viewer to it being like that and constructive rather than. Back in the day where essentially it was, knock them down, drag them out.
Oh, really? So you think it's better now than when I was in it?
Yeah, but they weren't your decisions. But
no, but I find it less analytical. Like Duncan, we would really go into: have you got patent protection? What's the competition doing?
Yeah, I felt the questions were pretty light. There could have been a lot more
superficial questioning, and a lot about the people's backstory rather than about the mechanics of the product and getting it made.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions that even I could spot going, well, how does that work?
Yeah, but you never know because what's in the edit. But I thought the Dragons. I was impressed with Gary Neville. I thought he was pretty solid. I thought he was one of the better Dragons on there.
Well,
in fact, I thought he outperformed Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, you got to remember, it's that sort of thing. Most footballers are absolute numbnuts, but the ones who
not like comedians.
yeah. But the ones who transfer to being
Business.
pundits,
Yes.
you know, you've got to have analytical
Yes.
skills, and you really got to have them because there's 5-10 million really passionate men watching, well, traditionally
Yes.
Match of the Day, but
And it's one of the most analysed things in the world, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. I know that he's in the hotel game. I think he owns a hotel. He's, you know, yeah. I thought he was very impressive.
Yeah, he certainly beat my expectations of how I thought he'd do.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's not bothered by that. No, but I thought it was a good episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Good episode. But now do we just assume every single one gets an investment? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Find out next time, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, it was great fun.